All right, so if you know me, you know one of my all-time biggest pet peeves are horrible pitches. People that can't take the time and they can't be bothered to send me a personalized, proper pitch when they're trying to, become a writer for my site or get a link inserted on my site or whatever it might be. So in today's video, I'm gonna take a pitch that I've received this month. It's one of the worst pitches that I have received, and I'm going to break down what makes it so bad. And then more importantly, you're gonna watch me rewrite it in real time to try and make this pitch actually be good and have any shot of getting read and getting a positive response. So I really haven't done screen share videos like this very much, so we'll see how this works. And if you like it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and drop a comment letting me know that you would like to see more videos like this. I often talk about how I do a really good job of telling you what to do, but I don't always do a good job on this channel of showing you what to do. So in this video, we're gonna show you exactly what a bad pitch looks like and how to write a good one. So if you're into it, then let's jump into the computer and I'm gonna show you what we're working with here. So this is an email that I received a couple weeks ago, and I just copy and pasted. I didn't want to include their actual email address just, because I'm not going to totally call them out like that. But let's start at the very beginning, the date. Friday, October 1st, 2021 at 3:18 a.m. So immediately when I see that, the chances are this is someone overseas that sent this to me because they're probably not working American business hours. If they did a little bit of research, they would know that I'm based in Portland, Oregon. I talk about that all the time. So if you were going to send a pitch to me, you should probably do it during business hours, my time, because then I'm more likely to see it and it's not going to be one of dozens of spam emails I got overnight. Subject line: add value to your readers. Guest post proposal. So first off, there should not be an apostrophe in readers. So if you're sending a pitch for writing work, you want to make sure that you actually show that you know how to write. So already this is an issue. And I want to point this out right now because I know there's a lot of people where English is not your first language. And so naturally there's going to be some mistakes there. And there are all sorts of ways to work around that if you kind of embrace it. But this person, whose name is Kelly Green, so really trying to, make it look like they are an American writer. And if that's the case, then, some of those, grammar errors, they just don't fly. And they're an immediate red flag that says, whatever post you write for me, it's probably not going to be very good. But let's dive in even more, shall we? So, hi. Not hi, Sean. Not hi, Location Rebel Team. Not hi, Liz, who is my right-hand woman at the site. There is zero personalization. So already off to a big fail. If they don't say hi, Sean, there is a good chance I'm not going to read it unless it is for a scenario like this where I'm just going to be tearing it to shreds. So if you send me anything, at least prove that it is to me, that it's not a copy and paste type deal. I would love to provide you with an article that provides tons of value to your site readers. Okay, but again, you're not showing anything that this is personalized for Location Rebel. We're going to talk about in just a minute what I would do if I were rewriting this to really get someone's attention and prove that this is a personal pitch. Also, how could I forget? I literally just copied and pasted this straight over from the email. I didn't change any formatting. So this lovely Comic Sans font, I don't need to say anything about that, right? No. If you allow guest posts on your website, please let me know so we can proceed further. So first off, if you did a little bit of research, you would know that we do have a page for guest posts. You would know what the proper protocol is for pitching those guest posts. And you should also, again, grammar. It doesn't have to be super, polished, overly formal, overly professional. There should be some personality in there, but you at least got to get general grammar right. And here are my recent contributions to other technology and other sites. That makes no sense, but let's just assume for a second that this person might actually be a really good writer. So I clicked on these links to see what was going on. See what Kelly Green is all about with her writing, or his writing, their writing. First one, admin. So there's nothing on here. It just says admin. There's nothing on here that really shows me that this person did it. So what I would do is, you might be saying, hey, it could be ghostwritten. And if that's the case, that's fine. But then tell me, hey, these were ghostwritten articles, so my name is not on them, but I sure enough wrote them. Easy problem to solve. This next one was written by Miles Austin, definitely not Kelly Green, and Dietary Fiber, Types and Benefits. Well, first off, that's a horrible headline. And second, that has nothing to do with what we talk about on Location Rebel. So this isn't a very good example of what you could do for me. The next one, page not found. That's where we're at. The next one after this, published by Sahid N. Shah. Definitely not Kelly Green. So as far as I know, this is not you. Or you're lying to me about your name, in which case you've lost all credibility for me. And then the final one is by Big Data. How data can transform your marketing efforts. See, I'm at the point where I don't even want to read these because already everything you've sent me, I feel like is a lie. And so I understand it. There's a lot of people overseas. There's a lot of people that are link outreach specialists. I don't want to deal with some outreach specialist. I don't want to deal with a marketing specialist or a link building expert. I want to work with the person that publishes the site. I want to work with an actual editor, a real person, and have a real conversation and not get this mail merged BS. Looking forward to your positive response. I hate that too. That's like, I feel like every template, non-native English speaker says, I look forward to your positive response. But why would I give you a positive response if you don't even have enough respect to tell me what your real name is and to personalize this email? So as you can see, and I get a lot of emails just like this. And so, this person literally doesn't, I bet you Kelly Green or whoever Kelly Green is doesn't even know who I am. They don't know who or what Location Rebel is. I was just in a spreadsheet that they bought from something and they sent this email out. So that's a little bit different than someone that actually puts a little bit of effort into their pitch and gets at least my name right. So maybe in a future one of these, we will analyze one of those pitches. But now I want to say, let's rewrite this. What is something... If I wanted to rewrite this very generic email, and it's a little bit tough because pretty much everything about this wasn't personal to me, so this might just be an example of what a solid pitch might look like. So I'm gonna assume I am writing this to myself. I am someone that wants to write for Location Rebel. So we're just gonna say, I'm gonna try and create the perfect pitch. This is kind of what you should send to me if you want to be successful. So the subject, I would probably go with something like, love Location Rebel, ... So that telling me it's like Location Rebel guest post inquiry, stuff like that people always send, the overly formal stuff. So if someone sent a headline that was just love Location Rebel, it shows me there's a little bit of an informality to it that makes me say, oh, somebody actually wrote this. So I at least want to click it, see what they're going to say. Hi, Sean. Or no, I'd even go, hey, Sean. You get a lot of highs. Hey is a little more casual. I like what I call casual professionalism. So feel free to use a little bit of slang. Don't be overly formal and stodgy. That shows a little bit of your personality. And it shows that this wasn't just kind of a mail merge type thing. There's also people that go too far with the cheeky copywriting, trying to be clever. Don't do that either. Don't include a bunch of like memes and GIFs and stuff in your proposal. That turn off for me. So I'd say, hey, Sean. And then I would prove that I know what Location Rebel is, and I would talk about some of the things that have worked out really well for me. So let's just kind of use an example. Hey, Sean, I found your how to become a freelance writer post a couple years ago, and I spent a whole weekend studying it. It was the best resource I've found online for getting started writing. And now, a couple years later, I'm freelancing full-time. So this may not actually be the case, but if I read something like this where it's like, hey, somebody read my 7,000 word how to become a freelance writer post and then actually had some success and now they're doing that full time, that would catch my attention. Be like, oh, cool, something like you actually learned something from the content that I put out there. Awesome, I wanna hear more. I wanna hear more about that story. I wanna hear how you're doing, that type of thing. So in this next part, I want to have some social proof. So maybe there's some examples of writing you've done that are directly relevant to, me and my industry. As I've become a more successful freelancer, I've actually been writing for a handful of sites similar to yours, talking about how I've been successful. Here are a couple examples. Now in this part, okay, they've got my attention. They've taken some of my advice and had some success with it. They've done some work for some similar sites to mine, and whatever examples you share there, they should be directly relevant to the type of content that I share on Location Rebel. Now it's time to really personalize your idea for my site. So how do you give someone a pitch for an idea that is so perfect that you can't say no? And so in this case, what I would say is, include a little bit more flattery, honestly, talk about maybe sharing the journey and sharing about some of the things you learned from Location Rebel, and then also what you're going to do to help my readers so that people can have some of the success that this person's had. So this is what that might look like. There are 10 different things I've tried that have worked really well to get freelance clients over the last year. A couple I learned from Location Rebel, and some have been through my own trial and error. I'd love to write a post talking about how Location Rebel helped me start freelancing, and also share some specific advice and tips for getting freelance work that I haven't seen any other sites talking about. I'd love to write a post talking about how Location Rebel helped me start freelancing, and also share some specific advice and tips for getting freelance work that I haven't seen any other sites talking about. So there it shows a little bit more flattery. It shows that you know what you're talking about. It shows that you have some unique tips that are going to be a little bit different that you can provide. Okay, so now I'm interested. You've got my attention. Again, one of the things I include in pretty much every pitch I send is an easy way to say no. By making it easier for the other person to say no, you're showing that you respect them, and it's actually going to make it more likely that they're going to say yes to you. So if you've watched any of my videos, you've probably seen me talk about my 4 favorite words. It's totally cool if. So I use this in almost every pitch email I send. Here's how that works. It's totally cool if this isn't a good fit for you, or if you're not taking guest posts. I mostly just wanted to reach out and say thank you, as you've been very helpful in my journey. Let me know. The other, Sean. So I get that this email is completely different than the email that we first looked at, but they didn't really give me a whole lot to go on. So we just kind of started making some assumptions that this person is familiar with Location Rebel, they're familiar with the idea of freelance writing, and they know exactly what I'm looking for. At Location Rebel, the primary thing we are doing right now is helping people build freelance writing businesses. So that's what I want to see. I want pitches that are going to help our readers build their freelance business. So let's look at this one more time just to really nail down some of the things we were trying to do. Hey, Sean. Personalized, that's great. I found your How to Become a Freelance Writer post a couple years ago and spent a whole weekend studying it. That already sets you apart because most people aren't going to take action on a blog post. And that was a blog post that we put a lot of time and effort into it. So anytime somebody compliments it, we love to hear that. It was the best resource I found online for getting started writing. And now a couple years later, I'm freelancing full time. That's awesome. You had some success with it. I want to share stories of people that have had success with their content. As I've become a more successful freelancer, I've actually been writing for a handful of sites similar to yours, talking about how I've been successful. Here are a couple examples. Social proof, that's great. That's what we like to see. There are 10 different things. I love the specificity, 10 things, not 9, not 11, 10 things. There are 10 things I've tried that have worked really well to get freelance clients over the last year. A couple I learned from Location Rebel, and some have been through my own trial and error. That's great. So already I'm like, well, I want to know what these are. Why haven't I talked about these on Location Rebel? Or maybe I have. And this person has put a different spin on them or something. I'm curious. I want to know more. I want to see this post. I'd love to write a post about how Location Rebel helped me start freelancing, testimonial, social proof. That's great. That's going to help me sell Location Rebel Academy memberships and things like that. And also share some specific advice and tips for getting freelance work that I haven't seen any other sites talking about. In a world where everybody's rehashing the same things, if you can give me something new that's unique, that works, that's awesome. That's the kind of stuff we'd love to share on Location Rebel. It's totally cool if this isn't a good fit for you, or if you're not taking guest posts. I mostly just wanted to reach out and say thankful, as you've been very helpful in my journey. Great. You made it super easy for me to say no. You complimented me in the process, and you left the door open to at least continue the conversation. At the very least, I'm going to reply to this email because they said some nice things. They proved they know who I was talking about. This wasn't a mail merged, template email. So that is how I would rewrite the previous email. Obviously, it takes a lot more work. It takes a lot more research. And in most cases, this person probably didn't find my How to Become a Freelance Writer post 2 years ago and actually study it and actually apply it. But this is the perfect kind of pitch you would like to see. So if this was helpful, in one of the next versions of this, I will take an email that was actually specifically addressed to us that made a little bit more of a specific pitch, but we didn't accept. And I will talk about how to rewrite that using the information that they gave us that wasn't just kind of like a general templated email like we saw today. So my name's Sean Ogle. I'm the founder of this thing here at Location Rebel, where we teach you how to make money with your words. Whether you want to freelance, whether you want to blog, affiliate marketing, we teach you how to make money on the internet using your words. So if that's helpful for you, thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and we've got a free 6-day course that's going to help you get started doing this. LocationRebel.com/hi. Go check it out. It's really, really useful. We also have a freelance writer's guide that you're going to get along with that is super useful. So with that, thank you so much for tuning in, and can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.